Hello students, today we will study Indian economy topic infrastructure. Indian economy topic infrastructure. Okay students, let's start our topic. Introduction. It is important for economic growth. Infrastructure is important for economic growth. A country can't be called developed if it don't have proper infrastructure. Since economic reforms, infrastructure has been accorded high priority by the government. Okay. Now, meaning of infrastructure. Simply speaking, infrastructure means those basic facilities and services which facilitates different economic activities and thereby help in economic development of the country. Education, health, transport and communication, banking and insurance, irrigation and power and science and technology, etc. are the examples of infrastructure. Infrastructure is the support system of industrial and agricultural production, foreign and domestic businesses. It is the basic organizational and physical structure that is required to run a business smoothly. In an organization or for a country, a basic infrastructure includes communication and transportation, sewage, water, education system, health system, clean drinking water and monetary system, etc. A country's economic and social development is directly dependent on a country's infrastructure and is the basic requirement. Many of the developed countries make a lot of progress because of the enormous growth of economic and social infrastructure. Good infrastructure makes the work process easy, resulting in positive and maximum productivity. These do not directly produce goods and services but induce production in agriculture, industry and trade by generating external economies. For example, an industry situated on or near the railway line or national highway will produce commodities at less cost. There are two categories of infrastructure. First is economic infrastructure, second is social infrastructure. Economic infrastructure. It means those basic facilities and services which directly benefit the process of production and distribution of an economy. Irrigation, power, transport and communication are the examples of economic infrastructure. Second one is social infrastructure. It means those basic activities and services which, in addition to achieving certain social objectives, indirectly help various economic activities. For example, education does not directly affect economic activities like production and distribution, but indirectly helps in economic development of the country by producing scientists, technologists and engineers. So education, health service, sanitation and water supply, etc. are examples of social infrastructure. Now, importance of infrastructure. First, increases productivity. The productivity of an economy directly depends upon the infrastructure. A well-developed infrastructure always accelerates the production capacity of the economy. Example, proper irrigation facilities improve the crop production. Second, provides employment opportunities. Development of infrastructure facilities increases the employment opportunities in an economy. Example, construction of road requires manpower and hence it creates employment opportunities, etc. Third, facilitates functioning of the economy. In order to operate and work with full efficiency, the economy needs well developed infrastructural facilities such as proper communication facilities, transportation facilities, electricity, banking, etc. Fourth, promotes economic growth. The growth of an economy depends upon many factors like production capacity, human capital formation, quality of life, etc. And in order to promote and enhance the above factors, a well developed infrastructure facilities are mandatory. Fifth, improves quality of life. Proper education, healthcare facilities, and standard of living comprises the quality of life. And the socialist infrastructure mainly focuses on these issues, only increasing quality of life and improves the ability of an individual to work. Proper sanitation also reduces the risk of diseases. Sixth, facilitates outsourcing. A country with advanced infrastructure facilities is able to reap benefits from the outsourcing work. India is emerging as a global destination for BPOs, call centers, etc. due to IT support system and sound infrastructure. Power, electricity. It is the most important component in the economic development. In order to attain economic development, power is required at every step. If anyone want to run a factory and they don't have power, then they can't be able to run that factory. Latest irrigation techniques in agriculture also need power. One of the most critical and most important components of infrastructure, which directly signifies the modern civilization, is electricity. It increases the development of the economy. Its demand is increasing day by day. The rate of demand of power is far ahead than the growth rate of GDP. Sources of power generation. There are three sources of power generation. First is thermal power. Power generated through coal, oil and natural gas. In this, heat energy is converted to electric power. As of July 2020, India has a total thermal installed capacity of 231.45 gigawatt. Almost 86% of the thermal power is obtained from coal and the rest from lignite, diesel and gas. The private sector generates 46.9% of India's thermal power, whereas states and center generates 27.9% and 25.3% respectively. Next is hydroelectric power, generated through windmill or from the waters of dams and fast flowing rivers. It is cheapest and renewable source of energy. As of March 31st, 2020, India's installed utility scale hydroelectric capacity was 46,000 megawatt or 12.3% of its total utility power generation capacity. Additional smaller hydroelectric power units with a total capacity of 4683 megawatt, 1.3% of its total utility power generation capacity have been installed. Now, the third one is nuclear or atomic power, generated from radioactive elements like uranium, etc. Its generation started in 1970 to 71. It is economical. Next is challenges in the power sector. First, transmission and distribution loss. The first and foremost is transmission and distribution loss. The loss in electricity while flowing from one place to another can be due to backward technology or due to loss of theft. Second, Insufficient installed capacity. Although there is massive production of electricity in the economy, but the production is not yet sufficient to meet the demand due to increasing population. This deficit supply may result in power cuts, low voltage, excessive load on distribution, and many other problems. Third, underutilization of capacity. Lack of proper utilization of power plants due to lack of proper technology. Fourth, shortage of raw materials. Thermal power plant is facing shortage of coal and supplies and other raw materials, due to which power sector is inefficient. Fifth, poor performance of state electricity boards. Improper transmission of electricity, wrong pricing, and other incompetence. Few scholars have come to the conclusion that the main reason for the losses is the circulation of power to farmers. They have to only pay minimum charges or is free. Electricity is stolen. That results in losses under the account of state electricity boards. Sixth is lack of public cooperation or public unrest. Public don't trust them due to long power cuts, high rates, unstable voltage. Now the next is measures to meet power crisis. First, improvement in plant load factor. Plant load factor indicates the capacity utilization of a plant. As stated earlier, the main defect of power sector is the underutilization of plants. So the main task of power sector is to make proper utilization of exist capacity of the power stations. It will help to increase the power generation with increasing the number of plants. Second is control of transmission and distribution of losses. Improve technology and stop theft of power. Third, increase in productive capacity. The installed capacity of the existing plants needs to be increased so that the supply of electricity across all the sectors of the economy can match the desired amount of demand. Fourth, promote role of private sector. Private sector must play a significant role in the generation of power in India. The government must encourage the participation of private sector and foreign direct investment in power generation. Fifth, encourage use of renewable resources. A renewable energy source means energy that is sustainable, something that can't run out or is endless. Like the sun, it can be easily reach rural and remote areas. It can benefit environment. 6. Development of hydro potential. India is full of rivers, so hydropower is most easily available form to meet power crisis. So there is a serious need to fully explore the potential of hydropower. 7th, promote the use of CFL and LED. Use of such appliances which consume less amount of electricity must be promoted. CFL, compact fluorescent light, and LED, light emitting diodes, provides electrification in the power with low amount of consumption of power. 8th, other measures. Increase in the role of public sector, better and latest techniques, better working conditions so that workers can work with efficiency. Health. In the words of WHO, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well being and not merely the absence of disease. Important points about health and health infrastructure. First, yardstick of one's well being. It tells us the condition of people, whether he is unwell or he is well, or he is suffering from any disease or any other. Second, holistic process. Through this, we can judge the overall growth and development of the economy. Improves productivity and efficiency. If the person is healthy, they can work with efficiency and can help the society full. If they are healthy, then they can give their best, and if they are unhealthy, they can't work with efficiency. Government facilities. Government should provide different types of facilities like Ayushman Bharat Yojana. Health facilities can reach all the people in society, then only growth and proper development is possible. Life expectancy at birth. Average expected length of life of a person at the time of birth. Infant mortality rate. The number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1,000 live children born in that particular year. Healthy manpower. If our health facilities are good and reach to the all sections of society, then only we can get healthy manpower to work for production of goods and services. Health infrastructure. It includes doctors, nurses, other paramedical staff, beds, equipments, well developed pharma industry. It is important that health facilities should reach to all. Three tiers of health infrastructure. First, primary health care. It is set up in villages and small towns, educating about health problems, supply of proper nutrition, maternal and child care, etc. Small hospital with single doctor and nurse with limited medicines. Secondary health care, located in district headquarters and in big towns. It provides better medical equipment and modern facilities. Third, tertiary health care. Example, AIIMS in Delhi. It can handle complex cases, have specialized healthcare facilities. Health, a basic human right. First, all citizens should get health facilities. Second, create awareness about different health issues. Third, with the help of IT and telecom sectors, people can get help from medical staff. Fourth, there is more number of primary health care centers, so this level has to be improved, brought new techniques. Fifth, private public partnership ensures good quality products and reliable products. Critical assessment of health infrastructure. First, inequitable distribution of health services. Our most of the population is living in rural areas in which our health facilities is not reaching fully. Second, communicable diseases. Large number of communicable diseases is increasing day by day, like AIDS, SARS, SARS, HIV, etc. In this, we have to take effective measures to control them. Third, proper sanitation facilities. Poor sector is lacking proper sanitation facilities like inadequate or sometimes no facility of toilets. Government should immediately take necessary steps to improve this condition. Lack of manpower. There is shortage of medical staff. Now these corona days, there is shortage of paramedical staff in hospitals. Fifth, malnutrition. Poor children are not getting proper nutritional diets. Government should take care of this condition of poor children. Children are the future of our country. If they are not healthy, how can our country be called developed? Role of private sector. Government sector runs mostly on social welfare, so they don't have sufficient funds to invest in health infrastructure. So there occurs the need of intervention of private sector.